Hello, everyone. Welcome to Athletic Matters, a healthcare podcast. My name is Sasha Johnson. I'm the head athletic trainer here at the University of the Bahamas.
And my name is Shakeitha, Henfield, assistant athletic trainer for UB.
Awesome. So today, this month is Athletic Training Month. So we use this month to celebrate athletic trainers all around the world to bring awareness of the profession. And today we are going to have Mr. Duran Smith join us as a guest today. He is an athletic training student at Ithaca College in New York. So we're just going to give him a few seconds to log in here, and we're going to get started. Awesome. Yeah. How are you?
I'm well, very well.
Great. So we're going to give people a few minutes to log in here. Welcome everyone that's logging in. Thank you for being a part of the show today. Again, we have our guest, Mr. Duran Smith. He is a Bachelor of Science and athletic training student at Ithaca College in New York. All right. So, Duran, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, so well, I'm Bahamas born. I graduated from Nassau Christian Academy in 2017. Seems so long now. And I went on. I also went to a United World College in Hong Kong for 2 years. I graduated that in 2019, but I've been here.
Okay, let's take a pause right there. Sorry. So how did you get involved with that? Like, how did you make that move to Hong Kong?
Oh, well, it's a funny story because I didn't want to do it at all, but one of my, I guess you call them my aunties at church was telling me to do it. So I eventually applied and interviewed and got accepted to that. And it was a great experience, really great experience.
Awesome. All right, so we'll get back to talking about that. Continue on.
Okay, so I graduated from there in 2019, and since fall of 2019, I've been at Ithaca College, which is in New York State. I'm about really near the Canadian border. So close to around like Syracuse, around there.
Okay. Awesome. It's pretty cold up there right now? Still?
It's extremely cold.
What's the temperature like?
It's like 20 something degrees, but once you get below freezing, it's just cold.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Have you adjusted to that yet?
Yeah, I've adjusted it. You just wear plenty layers. Just wear a lot of clothes.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's certainly
Awesome.
hard to wake up some days.
I can imagine. So athletic training. Well, you're from Nassau, Bahamas. As we know, athletic training isn't a huge profession here. It's steadily growing. So how did you kind of, fall into that area of athletic training and wanting to actually from high school go straight into that program?
All right, so it really started because initially I wanted to do engineering. So I was thinking like, mechanical engineer. But then I was just getting into the higher level math class at that program, the UWC program, and I really wasn't like having a good feel with the maths and science anymore because I felt like it was so abstract. Like how would this even be applied to help people? And then I started to look for ways where I could something more applicable, something I guess you could say more people to people. And then I found athletic training. I have a history of sports, love sports, like all through I growing up. And athletic training just seemed to be the perfect combination between science, because you have the research element, you have the biomechanics element, as well as helping people in the healthcare industry.
Awesome. So you mentioned that you was into sports. What sports did you play?
I played them all as much as I could.
All? You
Yeah,
did curling?
oh no, I
Hockey?
what ice we gonna throw on? Um, everything I could do in the Bahamas. So softball, except track. I can't run very well,
Okay.
so, but I did like shot put,
Running
discus.
is fundamental to all sports.
Well, I don't run fast enough to win, but
Okay.
All
yeah,
right. Okay, good. Good. So, okay, so let's kind of backtrack and let's go back to high school, or I should say the program that you got accepted to in Hong Kong.
yes.
Now, was that high school level or was it like college type level?
Well, if you're familiar with the Caribbean system of CAPE, I don't know if you're
Uh-huh.
familiar with that, or A levels. It's similar to A levels.
Okay.
So it's an
Okay.
additional 2 years after you finish your secondary education.
Okay. So was it like a shell shock to like be in Hong Kong from Nassau to
I was like a fish out of water.
country so far away?
Yeah, I was like a fish out of water because it's like a city is a huge buildings. You get everywhere by train. No one speak well. People speak English, but most people speak Chinese.
Uh-huh.
The school was comfortable though. It's very comfortable. They really have a welcoming environment there, and it was a place where I developed a lot of maturity, really grew, and it's very valuable. Very valuable.
Okay, good. You picked up any Chinese?
Of course, I pick up Chinese, but I lost it.
Say something in Chinese for me.
你好，我叫丁如龙，我正在巴哈马，我是，blah blah blah.
That's
Sounds
pretty
good
good. Yeah,
to me. I don't know
sound-
what you said, but it sounds good. Like here, Bahamas.
Yeah,
yeah, you sound pretty native there. That's pretty good.
yeah. I try. I was getting pretty good at it.
Good. Good. So the program that you're in now, you're at Ithaca College, you said. How has that been for you? Like going and starting into the program as a freshman, you're now a sophomore,
Yes.
right? How has the program been so far for you?
Well, so now I'm in the spring of my sophomore year. When I entered it, it was still a bit elusive at first, because in the beginning we only do like basic courses. So it really started with anatomy and physiology, which we did for about 1 year, and that gave us an introduction into what the body is, how it's made up, a bit of how it's functioning, down to even like some of the more in-depth like chemical things that happen. And then, but now my second year, when I started my assessment class, when I started as well as my athletic training techniques, that's when I really get into the program. So it's been very good so far because the department itself, the whole health science and human performance, and they actually just made a switch and called it the exercise science and athletic training program. So
I saw that. It's like
yeah.
a dual program now, right?
Exactly.
Nice.
So they really the teachers place a lot of emphasis on grooming us to be professionals, and that's one of the key things that I've garnered from the program so far.
Very nice. Yeah, I took a glance at you guys' website, and I saw something pretty cool. It just kind of had a breakdown of like the program and how many students are there, and then they have a map of like where all of the students are from. And so, we have most of the students are from the United States, and then they have this little country, the Bahamas, and they got a star on Nassau, and I just thought that was pretty cool. Just because, like I said, athletic training isn't a big profession over here, and so for there to be interest within our Bahamian students that's abroad, that's pretty awesome. So do you have a favorite class so far? I know you're only a sophomore now, but so far, what has been your favorite course?
My favorite course. Well, recently, I guess, with my assessment class. So in that class, we take it. I guess you'd say body part by body part. So at the beginning of the year, well, we of course, so like last semester I took assessment 1, and then it's like assessment 2. And where we start from the foot and ankle, go up to the knee, then you have the hip, low back, and now we transition into like C-spine and shoulders. So that class, really has been the integration of everything that we've learned in like anatomy and physiology, biomechanics, into the specific injuries that have been, I guess, cataloged in our body of knowledge as athletic trainers. We break them down. We see what is the etiology, what is the cause of them. We break them down to see how does the cause relate to the biomechanics. So say like an ankle sprain. Why is the inversion sprain more common than the eversion sprain? Or it's because, you know, the fibula head is much longer than the malleolus is different sizes. So we go through the thinking in that way, which has been really kind of extraordinary, you know, eye-opening. It's like, whoa, wow.
That's interesting you said that, because even in my athletic training program, we did the same thing where we started from the ankle, and each semester we moved up the body to the next joint. So I'm wondering if that's kind of standard that you guys did.
Yeah, we did as well. So I guess most programs kind of mimic that format.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good.
It seems they communicate very well.
Very good.
Yeah.
So have you guys started taping and splinting and all that stuff yet?
Yes, we did it on each other in class. We
Right.
haven't done it on any.
How's your ankle tape job looking?
Under 2 minutes.
Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Good.
All right. What sports are you working with?
Well, we haven't started working with sports yet. We were supposed to this semester, but you know, everything happened. So, but next semester we're gonna get like in the clinic.
Any particular sport you're looking forward to working with?
I think, well, I look at it in terms of like, I guess every sport has its own advantages and disadvantages. I would love to work with basketball, I guess. Basketball is one of my more favorite sports. But injury-wise, to get the most experience dealing with injuries, and also like equipment and stuff would be like football. So it would be good to get experience dealing with a lot of equipment, or maybe something like lacrosse. Yeah.
Yeah, those high contact sports. Yeah. Definitely. All right, so it's the COVID-19 era. What type of protocols like you guys are going through right now, as far as like, you know, practical setting in the classroom and all that stuff? Like, how has it been difficult to adjust that way, or?
Oh, sorry. So the protocols itself, so it's kind of, I wouldn't call it disjointed, but it's separate based on what you're doing. So some people in different majors, they have their own protocols in their class and in their building. But generally on the campus, I'll start there. On the campus, within the buildings, they have like a singular direction of flow. So people enter from one way, exit from one way, to prevent, like, I guess, that crossing of people. Secondly, of course, they install many like hand sanitization locations. And generally for the student body, we test twice a week. Going with like a saliva test, that's process of the local hospital. So we do that twice a week. It's like a system. We get an account on our phone where we sign in every day, and we show like a green badge when we go to class. Now, for athletic training students, when we have our practical classes, we wear like a surgical mask. So we wouldn't be allowed to just wear a cloth mask. We have to wear a surgical mask, as well as a face shield when we get in like within 6 feet of everyone else. And as well as all of the teachers, I believe all of the teachers by now have received both shots of their vaccine.
Okay.
And yeah, so that's it. So we have like the testing system, the green screens, the PPE, and that's all. Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, you mentioned the teachers getting tested. What about not tested? Sorry, getting the vaccine. Is that a process that you're going to eventually have to go through?
They are
within the program?
They are discussing it for the sophomores. The juniors and seniors are eligible. They haven't made it specifically for the sophomores to be eligible as yet because we aren't directly interacting with players as yet.
Okay. All right. Backtracking a little bit, what made you choose the college that you're at right now?
But when
I
I
know there's a
Google,
number of colleges and universities that offer athletic training. So what about Ithaca College caused you to choose there as your place
yeah,
to study?
a lot of people ask me that, because especially since it's so cold up here, they're like, why would you even leave the Bahamas? Um, so when I Googled athletic training, Ithaca College is one of the first results, and I could see why because the program is extremely good. And when I engaged with the program director, um, as well as looked on the website, I was choosing between either Ithaca College or I believe it was Michigan State.
Okay.
But I chose Ithaca College because they were one of the only programs still offering athletic training at the bachelor level. And I wanted to do it at the bachelor level.
Okay. So after you're done with your bachelor's in athletic training, what are your plans? Do you want to go on to pursue your master's? Do you want to get some more experience in the field? Are you going to stay in the U.S.? What are your plans? What are you thinking?
Well, my plans so far, I haven't discussed with my advisor yet, but what I have on my radar is to do like a residency at a hospital, or they have a few locations around the U.S. where you could like get more experience in a hospital setting, so like with orthopedic surgeons, also some more rehabilitation. I would leave it open to like getting a regular job, so maybe in a PT clinic, or maybe in a high school, or maybe in another university. But I definitely want to experience some other settings for a few years, and potentially, I'm not sure, like a master's program or something as yet. But I intend to be back in the Bahamas within 5 years because I believe by that time I'll have enough. I'll get what I need to be more independent as a clinician.
Very nice. So you want to bring and grow the profession back home. That's awesome.
Exactly.
So what types of responses have you gotten? Because I got this in school for both of my majors. Like when they're like, oh, what are you going to do with that degree? Or are you coming back home? Have you gotten those type of questions or responses when you tell people what you're studying or what
You
your
mean from
plans
the
are?
Bahamas, or when I tell people here?
And anybody. Well,
When I tell
not just
people here,
people who are accustomed to the field, but
yeah.
how does your family and friends respond to your choice of, like you said, you started off showing an interest in engineering.
Mm-hmm. Well, how being people go, you need to be a doctor or a lawyer. Me still want me to be a doctor. You still say I can sneak there somehow, but they don't really know what it is at first, so you have to explain exactly what it is. And I've gotten better with the description, and I think the best description I can come up so far is just a healthcare provider operating an athletic setting, because that's really what an athletic trainer is. But yeah, they I guess you could say they react with a sense of mystery, like, 'cause the term is kind of foreign. But when I talk to people over here, they get really excited and they tell me about their great experience with their high school ATs and their college ATs and things of the sort.
Prior to you getting in the program, have you ever had any type of interaction with an athletic trainer?
No.
I know you said you played sports, but that was local, and of course, athletic trainers were pretty much non-existent.
No.
Maybe
I mean, you call my mommy,
5 to 8 years
you
ago.
know, she get me some ice a couple of times.
Who's that?
I say my mother get me like ice a couple of times when I never.
Okay. Okay. So how did you stumble upon UB? I know you were kind of back and forth in the country. You reached out to me and expressed your interest and all that stuff. So how did that kind of walk us through that story?
Well, that's a really, like, when I look back now, it's just a part of, I guess, my formative process. When I went to that school, one of the things I really gained is like a sense of empowerment, like in my ability to see something, want to do something, and figure out how to make it happen. So in my interest in becoming an athletic trainer, I said, maybe there's some Bahamians who are already athletic trainers. Let me speak to them. So I just did a quick Google search, found your name in the Tribune, put two and two together, found the email. And you notice when I first emailed you, I still referred to you as Ferguson.
Right, right.
Because that's what the article mentioned you as. So, yeah, so from that, me having like a more empowered perspective and really wanting to do this and wanting to get more information, I reached out to you. And we had a conversation. It's very enlightening. And it just helped me solidify my decision.
Yeah. And I was very excited about it too because, I mean, the fact that you said that you were still in Hong Kong at the time
Yes.
when you reached out.
Yes.
And so, yeah, man, I mean, it kind of makes you feel good that, you know, there's other young Bahamians that find athletic training interesting, you know what I mean, and want to pursue the profession. So, yeah, that email kind of made my day when you said, you know, you want to sit down and kind of pick my brain a little bit and try to figure out if that's something that you want to do. So, yeah, that was real good. So are you guys doing anything for Athletic Training Month in your programs?
Say it again.
Are you guys, as an athletic training program, are you all doing anything for Athletic Training Month?
Well, the seniors really in charge of that. They doing a lot of stuff on the Instagram page. So one of the things they did is they let one of the alumnus from the program, they let them do like an Instagram takeover. So they showed like what their day was like. They also set up like a little thing where you could donate money, but for specific people, so to show appreciation. So like you would give $1 for say Bob, and whoever get the most money next to their name, they get like pied in the face or something like that. So that's just something for like the teachers and the preceptors having a little fun with that. And then they're encouraging athletes to write little notes to the athletic trainers and things of the sort.
Okay, cool. Do you have any advice for any students that may be considering, you know, studying athletic training or something similar?
Let me think for a second. Advice. I think it's so difficult. It's so difficult to make decisions like that straight out of high school, you know, especially looking back. And you can't even say, oh, you know, try get some experience. I mean, of course, it's you there, but you could only take so many people, and especially now with COVID-19. So my biggest advice to anyone watching, you know, just to take one step forward, you know, whatever decision you make. And then from you take that step forward, you can go either left or you can go right. But you ain't staying in the same place and you ain't going backwards. So just always keep trying to go forward. And don't be afraid because I don't think time is limited. I'm only like 21. I got plenty of years ahead of me, Lord's willing. And you also have plenty of years ahead of you. So it's no problem to make a mistake. It's no problem to try and fail. Just give it a shot. You never know what may happen.
That's awesome. I like that. I like your outlook on that. That's pretty cool. So we're coming up on almost about 30 minutes here. If anybody in the room has any questions for Duran, go ahead and shoot those in the comment box, and we will get to those.
Shout out to Nassau Rowing Club.
Say again?
I say shout out to Nassau Rowing Club.
Yeah, I see Nassau Rowing Club. Nice, very nice.
Mm-hmm.
So anything else going on? I mean, anything you want to talk about as far as, you know, what's going on in the program or an experience you had or anything? Have you seen any? Well, you guys aren't really in the practical settings yet, so you haven't really seen any like cool. I always call them cool injuries.
Well,
Yeah, but
I guess we had a lot of great stories, you know, just about one of the best stories I've heard was one of my professors, well, just as, I guess you can call it his journey in itself, becoming straight from AT school, because I believe he graduated in like the 80s, and to hear how the profession has progressed from the 80s, from them not being able to deal with, say, back injuries, or not being, the body of knowledge of the profession has expanded so far and has made our skills extremely applicable and has increased the value of the profession, which I believe is why they want to advance it to a master's only program. And with that master's only program, I'm kind of back and forth with it, right? Because if you have a master's program, that creates a barrier to entry, because people have to get their bachelor's degree and then go to the master's program. However,
right.
with a master's program, in a sort of degree inflation kind of sense, you're able to demand some more money as a professional. But then again, demanding more money is a barrier to people who need athletic trainers. And it's very dangerous for schools.
That's a good point.
Yeah, it's very dangerous for schools to have programs without an athletic trainer. Because you have to consider, especially larger schools. Because when you have larger schools, even though some injuries or some diseases may be rare, right? As you get a larger population, there's a higher chance of them happening. So, especially when you have things like football, you have exertional heat disease, right? Does the school have a cold tub to get the body temperature down? Do they have a rectal thermometer to get a proper? Do they undergo the proper injury prevention protocols?
Right.
Because if you have an injury in your ankle while you're young and don't rehabilitate it properly, you know it's a kinetic chain. So the injury could decrease your dorsiflexion, so your poor absorption, and then it could impact your hip and you end up with arthritis in your hip. And then arthritis in your hip, you could slip a disc and it go on and on.
Right.
So
yeah, you make all good points, man. That's knowledge right there. I hope you guys are listening in on this. This guy knows his stuff. I have a question coming in here. They ask, is there any interest in working at the professional level for with athletic training, like NBA, NFL, MLB?
of course there's
Any
interest.
there?
Of course there's interest. However, when you get, well, from my musings and my thoughts about it, if you get into that field, it's an excellent way to be on the cutting edge of the technology in the industry, as well as be around an excellent team. Because you have physical therapists, you have orthopedic surgeons, you have general practitioners.
Yeah, you have a lot of resources when you get to that level. So
exactly, you have a lot of resources, so you kind of get spoiled a bit. But you also learn a lot of other things, a lot of soft skills, because you learn how to deal with administration, you learn how to deal with media, you learn how to all the different intricacies of legal contracts and things like that in a professional setting. So it's definitely some interest there. But it is also demanding of your time, you know, because you have to travel, you have to go back and forth. You can't, you know, take a vacation in the middle of the season. You also, I guess you could say, you have less, I guess you could say, power capital, because you have like physical therapists, and what if there's like a physical therapist with the old way of thinking and he doing something that ain't really good? Because you know all organizations ain't run very well. I could call the Cowboys name or call whoever.
Yes, understood. So I have a question for you. So I guess you kind of spoke about it earlier, but if you weren't doing athletic training, what would you be doing, or what program?
I'll be doing writing for
Writing? Okay.
yeah, writing for like movies, TVs, animated series. It's such a great profession. They pay very well.
Okay.
That's gonna be your side gift.
I don't know about that. You have to really get into that. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, guys, if you have any questions, just drop it in the comment box and we'll get to it. Duran, I mean, athletic training isn't a 9 to 5 job. Are you mentally prepared for, having to wake up early in the morning and then being the last one to leave at night? I mean, I guess of course it depends on what setting you're in. But that's always a possibility. Like, have you wrapped your mind around that? Especially when it comes to like balancing like your work and your life and family and all that stuff.
Yeah, I have well, I'm starting to, hear more stories about it, and it sounds like when I get into my rotations in the clinic, it's gonna be a lot of that. But I'm an athlete at heart. I know about waking up early, and I believe the work we do is very engaging, and it'll never be a boring day. I believe that that's the truth. It'll never be a boring day. So if that is what I need to do, I don't see no problem with it, because especially from the perspective of a new clinician, you need as much experience as possible. While I'm young, might as well try and do it. But as I get older, maybe I'll try to go down on that. But as far as taking time to, as far as taking time to, be a professional and service my clients and service my athletes, of course, that ain't no problem.
That's awesome. Awesome. Well, we don't see any more questions in the chat. Let me just scroll up here a second.
Yeah, shout out Lucky's Marine Repair. That's my brother's company.
Yeah, he said waking up early.
Yeah, he's my brother.
Oh, okay. All right, so we don't see any more questions in the chat. So, you have any questions for us before we sign off here?
Yeah, I mean, I really love what you guys have been doing this month. I sat in with Miss Henfield was hosting that Zoom call with the lady who's in biomedical research or biomedical yeah. So that was very great, and the content you've been putting out is really good. But I guess questions. I guess, how is the workload for you both? Have you seen the demand for your services grow within the university?
Well, for us right now, things are a bit slow compared to any previous season. I mean, due to COVID. Locally, we haven't been able to do any type of competition. The competent authority hasn't allowed that as yet. So we're basically just training and preparing for when that time does come. We will be ready to go. But like I said, it's pretty slow, especially within the clinic, like within the training room. There's not that, that flow, that constant flow that we normally see during the year. So we just been kind of using this time to train and work on the small things as far as skills and maybe people that have those little chronic injuries, kind of working on those things and the rehab and all that stuff. So yeah, it's been slow. We can't wait till things get more back to normal. I know we're a little behind here compared to university teams in the States, because a lot of them are still competing and stuff like that. So we're just waiting to try and get back to some form of normalcy here.
And I can actually say for track and field, we're actually in season. We're having competition tomorrow. So the track team is basically our only team that is able to have somewhat of the season. The hours going to be cut short. We haven't been able to travel like we normally would. We would go to the athletes really look forward to that. So that's a little disappointing that some people are going to miss out. Yeah. miss out
Yeah.
on that. But we still have the track season. With volleyball right now, I think coach is really building the team. We have a lot of new freshmen in, so they're able to build that chemistry. I'm able to do the strength and conditioning with them, so they're able to work on areas of weaknesses. And I think by the time we get back to the season, they're going to be further ahead than most of the other teams. So that's the pro side of it.
Is the university consulting you on COVID protocols when they plan to open up?
Not directly.
We have to the Ministry of Health has to direct us.
Yeah, we've just been pretty much going along with what the competent authority is saying.
Okay.
We do have a university COVID task force.
Yeah.
And so they have been kind of setting the protocols for the university as far as COVID is concerned.
Okay.
Now athletics do have COVID protocols as well. So we kind of working in tandem with each other. But it's not too much of, us feeding them a lot of the information. I mean,
Okay.
I think they're more guided by, what the government is doing and the competent authority and all that stuff.
I asked because actually the athletic training department in my school play a big role in coming up with the protocols, because a lot of the students are athletes, and a big part of the university experience is athletics. So I guess along with like the public health majors, well not majors, teachers, along with the athletic training teachers, and then also some of the biology, like faculty and staff, they created like a body to come up with mutually agreed guidelines. Sorry about the background noise. That's just
Yeah. Y'all doing some karate or something like that? What's going on?
This is our boathouse where we have, because I'm a rower.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm a rower.
Okay.
I can show you I'm gonna turn this camera around. This. All right. So that's our lake right outside where we row.
Nice.
This is like the boathouse.
Yeah, I know how intense in there gets. I was able to work with some Olympic rowers when I was in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So like I know how loud it gets, and it gets real intense when they're training. So
Yeah.
understood.
Yeah. We just finished a 2K test yesterday. That's like one of the standard tests. So is someone making up their 2K test? Yeah.
Okay. All right, Duran. Well, thank you so much for being a guest on Athletic Matters. We appreciate you being here, and we wish you all the best. And whenever you need anything, we are here for you. Any type of resources, if we have it, we will offer it to you. We just look forward to your continued success, and hopefully you could, bring that knowledge and expertise back home soon.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's always a great opportunity to speak with you, and especially it being available to other people to see. I hope people have gotten something from the exchange, and I just encourage everyone to really come up with a plan for themselves. Come up with a plan and make sure like what you're doing today helps you reach that plan. Because you don't want to have wasted days. You can't get time back.
Right.
But, yeah.
Awesome.
So my final word.
Awesome. All right. Well,
All right.
thank you so much for being here. We'll see you later. Thanks, guys, for joining us today. We'll see you later.
Oh, wait.
Bye.
One second.
Oh.
Just want to shout out to my friends who joined the call. Shout out to Charles, Janae. Let me see who else. Oh, also my sister-in-law, my brother's wife. Let me see.
Very
Also
nice.
Jake, Evan, NRC. Just making sure I cover, can't leave them out.
You can miss some people. So.
Yeah, you got a whole crowd on here, man. That's awesome. All right.
All right.
All right.
Bye-bye.
See you later.
Bye-bye.